G'day, Justin Hogg here from Right Source, counting down to Christmas and listening to Christmas carols in shopping centres. Good times. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about how my experience in managing teams in an accounting session. So if you're in a business and you've got a finance team, and sort of my way or my methodology of what to look for and how to one, make sure you've got a leader who is leading your team, and two, if you are a leader, some thoughts in terms of how you might be able to change your approach or confirm that you're doing the right thing. We've all done, in those who view in a corporate setting where you've been at a State of the Nation and the CEO gets up in front of everyone and says, look, we're going to have to put in the hard yards, work some extra hours, and do it for the team. Now, when someone says that to me, when someone stands up in front of me and says, look, we all need to pull together and take one for the team, it's half a message because you're talking about the team, but what about the individuals in the team? Because a team is made up of individuals, and this is, for me, an incredibly important aspect of leadership, is that you need to understand what motivates each individual in your team. Now, the team might have one specific goal or might be there to do a specific task, that's fine. But as a leader or the leader in the team, I think it's incredibly important to understand what motivates each person in that team. So how do I understand what individuals want? How do I understand what my team wants? Well, you actually have to have a conversation with them. That's the tricky part. And especially in accounting teams, I find it's not always what people want to do. But this is an incredibly important part of starting to build a team, is having a sit-down conversation with people and understanding what it is they want. And as it's a conversation, there should be two ways. So what you're providing them as you listen to what it is they want is you need to actually tell them, or the leader of the team needs to be able to tell them what it is the organisation or that team could provide them. So just because someone's motivated to become the CFO, or they want to get involved in a certain project, that's great that that's the motivation, but it might not be possible. And I think as a leader, it's important to tell people that as a truth and say, once you understand their motivations, reinforce how or what opportunities there might be at the current organisation or on the current team to achieve what they're after. And this can sometimes be a difficult conversation because sometimes they're not going to be able to get what they want in this team. This is still an important conversation to have, because ultimately if you have someone who's motivated to achieve something and they're never going to be achieving it, their performance, their happiness, their engagement, all those things that are important aren't going to be achievable. So it's better to have that conversation up front, and then people can make a decision, an informed decision, on what path they want to take. Along with this conversation to understand their motivation, you need to also have a conversation to make it clear to the team what they're accountable for. Each individual needs to understand how they fit in the team, and the leader's job is to make sure that all the parts of the team fit together and work together. So even the leader has a part to play in the team. So the leader is part of the team. And understanding that accountability is important because you want to start building trust, because ultimately trust is what will get you there to having an amazing team. And the first step to building trust is to making people accountable for a piece of the puzzle. And why that's the first step is because once you make people accountable for that and say, look, your job is X, Y, Z, the next thing you say is, now I will give you the trust and the responsibility and the authority to get that done. And you give them that trust. And this then leads into the part that's the hardest part about being a leader, because you need to trust them to do it and you need to let them do it. And ultimately, you need to be comfortable to let them fail, because this is an incredibly important part about building trust. When someone fails, you've given them a responsibility, they're accountable for it, they've got all the means to achieve their goal, you're there to provide support if they want it, but you're not telling them how to do it, you're letting them do it. If they fail and they come to you, I have failed, I have stuffed something up, I haven't got something done in time, I failed in doing what you made me accountable for. As a leader, you need to firstly hold them to account. Whatever consequence there is because of them failing, which is in line with the not meeting their accountability, needs to be enforced. So whatever that is. Quite often it's just like, it's not a formal warning, it's a discussion about what went wrong, helping them say, well, let's not do that again, wrap up the discussion. The next thing you need to do at that point is immediately give your trust back to them. Unequivocally. As a leader, you need to give that trust, and this is what hurts, because that person has just failed you, and you need to trust that they will now go away and achieve their role. That doesn't just happen once. This is a whole team of individuals. They'll be failing in different ways and different sizes, and you need to, as the leader, be the one to give the trust. You can't be saying, well, I need to wait for my team to trust me. No, you're the leader. You're the one who has to give it. And this is the hard part, and this will take months, this process. But slowly what will happen is your team will see you either giving your trust to them, holding them account, but also holding the team members accountable when they don't perform in the team. But that lack of performance, or that, making a mistake or not being on their game that one day, doesn't destroy your trust. You still give their trust. And what that will do is your team will start to trust you. They'll start to believe that, yes, they can fail, or they can make a mistake, and by telling you that they've made a mistake won't destroy your trust. Because no matter who you are, you never want to break someone's trust. It's so important to you to keep. So this process is really interesting, because now, as your team starts to trust you, they start to realize that you're the leader of the team. So by trusting you implicitly, what they start doing is trusting the rest of the team. And by trusting the team and trusting you as a leader, all of a sudden, all those discussions you've had with those individuals, understanding their motivation and how achieving their goals can be done through working at this organization and with this team, they start to realize that by working together as a team, they could achieve their goals. So all of a sudden they trust you, they trust the team, and they start seeing that if the team succeeds, they succeed. And this is where, for me, leading teams and seeing this stage start to happen is really awesome, because now that everyone is accountable, everyone understands where they fit in the team, they understand the team success means their success, they trust the others that work in the team, and they trust that they will be held to account. All of a sudden, when things go wrong in the team starts to fix it themselves. They don't actually look to you as a leader. They say, well, look, Joe's sick today. Oh, that means this isn't going to get done. We need someone to do this. They will go and do it. Not because it's their job, not because they're made accountable for it. In fact, they're very clear that they're not accountable for it. It's Joe's job, but he's not here today. So if Joe's not here today and we don't get stuff done, which some of what Joe does affects my job, well, the team will fail. Well, then I'll fail. So they go and get it done. This is what's really, really, really powerful in these teams, is that they get it done without asking permission from the leader, because they trust you and they trust that you'll understand, or that you will want them to make sure the team succeeds. You actually start becoming less needed as a leader. You're there to hold the account, but actually it becomes a lot easier, and really you then get to have a much deeper impact on the individuals and on the team's input. We've talked a lot about teams, so the team's performing. So then, as a leader, I'm an individual, what's in it for me? Well, you've now got this team that's built on trust, that self-regulates, that is comfortable being accountable, comfortable making mistakes and letting you know when mistakes happen, which is important. As a leader, you've created this awesome team. Isn't that what being a leader is all about? And these are people who will forever remember this team as one of the best places to work, both from a work, a personal goal point of view, and hopefully from a personal achievement point of view as well. Thanks for joining us. If you like talking about accounting, there's definitely more videos about it. There's some other stuff there too, so check out the YouTube channel, and if you enjoyed what you see, feel free to subscribe and get the weekly updates, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.